Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are very thrilled to have to host the first ever virtual trade show event, Israel first trade show event with 12 suppliers from Israel and Canada and over 300 registrants. We can definitely keep up the hope and that soon travel will resume in Israel and all over the world. Before we start, I just want to lay the ground rules so it would be efficient and effective. Be easy on us and patient. As I said, it's the first time that we are doing something like this, and we are really trying to maximize the Zoom potential. It might be glitchy at the beginning. Keep your mics muted. When you will be split to a breakout rooms, you will be able to speak, so keep it mute. If you have any question, write them in the chat box so that the supplier can reply. At the end, if there will be any common questions, we will refer to them mutually on the end session. And once we will finish the welcome remarks, you all will be split into a separate smaller rooms to have a more of a personal roundtable sessions. Some of you might stay in the main session until you will be split, but I think it would be fast and easy. Now, I know that most of you have heard a lot about the situation in Israel in regards of the COVID-19. But in fact, in Israel, the high number of cases is also as a result of a government policy to increase the number of tests. We had over 55,000 tests a day, and the high number of cases is also part of our test high sensitivity policy. We were coherent from the beginning in our efforts to stop the pandemic. And I'm confident that the current lockdown will lower the numbers very soon, so we'll be able to welcome tourists from domestic and international tourists in Israel. Lately, the Ministry of Tourism, together with the Ministry of Health, have formulated a purple standard for the tourism industry that has proven itself in recent months with a very few cases of infections in the hotels. The hotels make sure to sterilize the rooms, keep social distancing practices with the guests, and adapt various hotel activities as well as facilities to the current situation. The fact that the domestic tourism in Israel has returned to activity in recent months has increased the industry's ability to develop in accordance with the situation and not remain stagnant with fixed procedures, but rather adapt and improve on a regular basis. In this way, the service has been significantly improved without compromising health and safety. One example is the buffet breakfast, which in the first phase were completely stopped. And now there are the buffet breakfast in hotels with food separated into personal and attractive packages. That significantly improved the service and the satisfaction of the guests. The most important thing in Israel is that it's ideal post-COVID-19 travel world, which allows you to have a meaningful journey, great culinary and safety above all. Some of you don't know this, but many tourist sites in Israel are in the open air. And also we were fortunate to have a major strategic decision in the ministry to promote in the recent years to highlight the outdoor and active travel in Israel. In the recent years, hundreds of millions have been invested in the desert product in the Negev, upgrading and elevating the parks and nature reserves and camping sites all across Israel. In regards of the religious products, the Holy Land, various religious sites allows you religious services such as prayers and baptisms and more are in the open air. And therefore, procedures and guidelines on how to practice those have been successfully implemented. The bottom line is that Israel is the ultimate destination, especially after such a crisis. The Israeli tourist product has evolved and elevated. The sites are mostly in the open space and the hotels have undergone the adaptation to the post-COVID era. In the world where tourists will seek a significant enough experience to justify the particular risk, the ideal destination in Israel, history, meaningful religious sites, culinary experience, and diverse culture. Today, you will have the opportunity to meet some of the best suppliers who are specialized in Israel, from iconic sites to hidden gems, from culture to culinary, groups to FITs. I am sure you will have a blast. Before I will pass the torch to Eyal Karlin, our Commissioner for North America, for some welcome remarks, I will finish that we just recently, on Friday and Saturday, we celebrate Jewish New Year's. And one of the blessings that we say is, may this year and all its curses will end, and a new and a better year will start. So I wish us all a better year, full with health, wealth, and most important, travel. Thank you very much. Have a great event. And Eyal, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Gal. And I really connect with the Rosh Hashanah blessing of the previous year and its curses ending, and the new year with its blessing beginning. And hopefully this, what we're doing today, is part of it. As Gal said, COVID has brought with us also a new infrastructure of doing business. And we're now doing our first ever Zoom trade show. It's our first, but it's definitely not going to be our last. And I think that going out of the COVID era, we're going to stay with this technology. And so we're so happy that so many people joined us, and we're so happy that we're able to show how vibrant the world, the travel industry is by hosting this event and having such a great reception. We're very optimistic that travel will return. We're already seeing it domestically in almost every country. Just like Gal said, also in Canada, also in the US, in Europe, in Israel, a lot of domestic travel is happening. And we are also looking at countries that are already beyond, or getting towards exiting the COVID situation. Even Wuhan itself, for example, people are eager to go back to what they loved doing before. And that's why we're optimistic that also travel will resume. Slowly, probably in the beginning, but people do love to travel. It is significant to them, and Israel is a significant place to travel to. So we're very optimistic that people will also return to Israel. And just as Gal said, the travel industry in Israel is adapting itself, acclimating, creating best practices. And once the travelers will return, they will return to an improved product, to a better experience, and to a higher standard of hospitality in Israel. So again, a bit about the situation now. And as you know, we're all part of the travel industry. What we do is not relevant for this afternoon or for tomorrow. Almost everything we do has a horizon of a few months. When we speak to our clients, we're talking usually about 3 months, 6 months, a year and ahead when we're planning our product to offer to our clients. It's also usually months or a year away. And so that's why we saw it very important now, although we're still in the crisis, in the COVID crisis, to start planning now, so that when in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, we're going to resume travel, we could hit the ground running, and both the travel industry in Canada and the travel industry in Israel will be aligned and will know how to work together. Canada itself is a strategic market for us. Just this year or last year, we actually returned the role of a consul director in Canada. Gal was sent because of the high importance that we see Canada as a strong market with a strong interest in Israel. But Canada now specifically too is positioned, I think, better than most countries in the world to resume international travel. The statistics in Canada are much better than most countries in the world. And I think most countries in the world will start accepting Canadian travelers, Israel included. And so I think Canada will really be the first, the avant-garde, the first to resume travel to Israel, and we want to be prepared for that. So we're hoping that this trade show, the new form of this trade show, will be fruitful for everybody, that everybody will get their information, connections, anything that they need to get out of it. Again, we stress patience from everybody. It's the first time. There are going to be some problems, but we'll get over them. And we're all part of the same industry with the same interest and same optimism. And Canadians, we also chose Canada because Canadians are just more polite than other markets that we work with. And so we're sure that you'll be accommodating to all of our mistakes. So again, Batzlacha to everybody. Good luck to everybody. We want to wish a Shana Tova to everybody. And we hope that it will be a year filled of challenges, positive challenges, and filled with hard work, but with good reward in the end of that work, and that we will see a lot of travel. So thanks, and let's we'll start the game.
Hello, everyone. So it's been interesting. I must say it's a first time for me. But Michael Jordan said that he tried to shoot 99 times and he scores only once. So who am I to argue with Michael Jordan? I know it's been glitchy, but first of all, I really want to thank the suppliers for all the efforts that they have been doing in the last hour and a half. It's been complicated for most of us, if not all of us. It was the first time that we tried to use the Zoom that way. I'm not sure that's the right way or the ideal way to use the Zoom, but we are trying our best. I think that actually, I think in these days and this time, we can really, and we need to make our best to renew travel in any kind. I remember one phrase by Stanley Fisher, was our head of the Israeli ban, and he said that the most important thing why Israel is considered a startup nation is the need. We don't have a lot of water, so we need a sophisticated agriculture system. Unfortunately, we don't have as good as a relationship with our neighbors yet. So we need a very sophisticated security systems. And I think that when it comes to tourism, and when it comes to this time, when we can't yet welcome anyone, we need to, I would say, to creatively think about the way to make the connection between our suppliers, both in Israel and in Canada, with our stakeholders and partners. I think that we have great partners, that some of them were here to assist us in keeping up the hope, in inspired by Israel, as we said. And really, thank you all of us for joining us. Thank you. I would thank you, Amnon from Eshet Tours, Sharif from Nazarene, Rachel from Amiel, Travel Brands, Lina from Travel Brands, Elal Jacob, that we just heard the great news, Jamie from Air Canada. Thank you very much for everyone. Peerless Ehud and Artsy, Onan from IBMT, Ronen from Dizenhouse, Neama and Rotem from Vereda Sharon, Benny from Kenes, and Vicky and Janice from City Journeys. Really, you really made the best out of it. And if someone wants to say, Eyal, do you want to say something to end, or are
just to say again, thank you to everybody, and I hope that that people enjoyed. And from my side, just Shana Tova, you know, and we wholeheartedly mean it. A good, sweet, fruitful new year.
So thank you very much. Hopefully we will see you in Jerusalem soon, or in Tel Aviv, or in the Negev tomorrow or later this year. And Shana Tova and Happy Jewish New Year.